Welcome to We Love That For You, a wedding podcast with personality, perspective, and plenty of heart. We are Chris and Jackie from Limelight Entertainment, and we're here to help you plan your best day ever without the stress.
Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome back to an episode of We Love That For You. Today, we've got Joe on the show. Joe, welcome.
Hello, Joe.
Thanks for having me.
Of course.
Yeah,
Thanks for sitting in with us today.
Yeah.
So today's episode is we're going to be talking about wedding recaps, wedding weekend recap.
Yeah, it's Monday morning.
It's Monday morning-ish,
Monday afternoon-ish, and we had a long but a good wedding weekend this past weekend, and some really fun stories to tell. So I wanted to hop in and chit chat with you guys about
stories from the field.
What went on? Yeah, what went on this weekend?
Yeah. So Jack, you and Joe were out together on Saturday, right?
Yeah, we were up in Sparta. I was not supposed to be on that wedding. It was supposed to be a couple other members of our team, and I've been holding this date for some reason in the back of my mind. I've been holding this date open, had a lot of offers for things to do on this particular Saturday, and wanted to keep it open because I just have a very busy month ahead of me, and I wanted the date, available. Well, turns out I held it open for a reason. The universe wanted me to have that date open because Corey, one of our photographers, unfortunately couldn't work. He had a death in the family. He had a funeral he had to attend. Nobody else on our Limelight team was available to take that for him, so that he could be with his family. So I was available, and I took it. There was just something in me that was saying I had to be there, and I'm so glad that I was there. It's also, I also thought too, it's great to know that I have the availability. So I take a certain amount of dates a year. The team takes a certain amount of dates a year. And it was just nice to know that I had that option. But I'm glad I was there because it was a challenging wedding day.
I was glad you were there too, because at the moment we walked up the stairs, I DJ'd the event, and so me and my assistant and the photo booth guy, we walked up the stairs, and as soon as we opened the doors and see you guys, we're like, oh, good. All the
relief.
Yeah, it is a relief. It's we just know it's already being coordinated according to how we're gonna be. We're gonna be in touch. We're gonna know what's going on throughout the night. So it was a huge relief just walking up the stairs and seeing you guys.
Communications is easy.
Yeah.
It's just easy. Yeah. I know. I feel the same way.
Awesome. So how was the wedding? How did it go?
It was challenging.
Challenging.
It was
Why?
good.
Yeah,
it was really good.
Good challenging.
You know what?
It's always good. Well, I mean,
a
challenge is a challenge.
Of course,
so it's not
of
fun
course.
in the moment sometimes. But but it is. I mean, it's I thought it was good challenging in a sense because it always teaches you something too. So.
Always.
Yeah.
The challenge is always good because it does teach you
what
something.
What was the challenge on your end though? Because I can talk about mine.
So this particular this particular wedding, it was a good 80, 90 mile drive. So it was, but the drive was probably the easiest part for us. And then also this particular venue is one of those venues that it's really all for your outside photos. It's not an indoor photo place. Very, very, and I mean very limited. We had 2 indoor options for groups. I mean, when we're doing individuals, when we're doing just the couple, it's easy because you've got 2 people and you can set them up on a stairwell. You could set them up here or there. But when you're having to think about a large wedding party shot, that could be anywhere from 10 to 15, 16 people or more in one shot. Or family formals can be upwards of 10, 12 people in a shot. You need that space. You need somewhere to line these people up, or at least have a good corner. And the ballroom was the only option. And, we were just faced with a lot of challenges throughout the day. We had beautiful getting ready spaces, so that worked out in our favor. and we had a ballroom. But the ballroom, and this was all coordinating. So I come in and I get locked in the elevator and meet Lisa from the front desk of the members section. And Lisa shows me around. Did you use the elevator or no?
I had no idea you got stuck in the elevator.
Did you use the elevator though?
No.
How did you get your stuff upstairs?
They had the service elevator.
They had a service elevator?
Yeah. You put it was actually great. You put all of the equipment on it and then you just hit that button.
And then you meet the elevator up there?
Yeah. Oh. You have to beat it. No, I'm just kidding.
That's the challenge.
That's the challenge.
That's the challenge of the day.
Elevator. So no one's in the downstairs section. It's really just like a lobby. And then I looked around, there's stairs, and I looked around, there's an elevator. I'm like, my stuff's heavy. I'm going up the elevator. So this elevator is this old little elevator, and it's narrow, and it's got this accordion door. So the accordion door shuts and brings me upstairs. But then the door to the elevator has this very weird little handle thingy, and I'm thinking it's a pocket. I open the door. I know it's not a pocket, but for some reason in the moment, I think it's a pocket door. And I'm trying to get it open, and I can't get it open. I'm like, I'm stuck in the elevator all day. This is going to be my day. And this lady walked by, and I'm like tapping on the glass. And her name's Lisa. She's like, hey, she shows me around. I get to meet the staff. I get to, walk around, and I'm like, okay, there's not a lot of stuff going on here. There's not a lot of options.
Right.
They're like, here's an option here. And I'm like, okay. And here's an indoor option here. Like, okay. But, it was nice to be able to meet the staff. They showed me around. They got us all welcomed in, and, we had great getting ready locations. We had, and the staff was, long story short, the staff told us we have till 3:30 in the ballroom before the servers have to come in and start setting up. So that was the coordination I was doing behind the scenes. Upon arrival, is just figuring out who needs to use what spaces when, what spaces are available to us till what time, and just, being there to make sure I could support our lead photographer, Shelby, who has to make all these decisions. So
with all these challenges, how did you set up the day just to ensure that, you're going to be able to produce all these beautiful photos for the couple?
Yeah, it's really just that. It's like on-site decision-making constantly. That's really honestly what you're doing the whole time. So it's like I'm photographing groom, getting ready, and groom details while texting my team and asking them and showing them locations that we have. And at first I was like, hey, this groom suite is really cool. We can maybe do some portraits of just the couple here. And then I find out that the venue is shutting it down at 3:30 and taking all of the groomsmen's belongings and bringing them to the main building. So I was like, never mind. So it's just a lot of coordination throughout the day. It's like, the team there at the venue walked me to a couple first look option places or locations. And I took pictures and I sent them to Shelby. Shelby talks to the bride, asked the bride. We made a decision on the ballroom. I was like, I think the twinkly lights, the mirrors on the wall is going to add depth. It's going to make really pretty photos. I think this is our best option. And we started there. But then we had to shift things around.
Yeah.
We would have loved to just shoot everything in the ballroom if we had that option. But because they needed to set up in that room, we didn't have that option.
Right.
So at that point in time, I was like, let's get all of the wedding party in here for a full wedding party shot. We have 5 more minutes till 3:30 and these servers need to come in here. And then let's pick new locations for the group of bridesmaids, the group of groomsmen, and things like that.
Right.
And then we had to pick another location for family, and it all ended up working out, but it was just a lot of decision making on site.
Yeah, that was, I think, probably even the first of, and why us coordinating was so helpful, because that was the first of my challenges when we came in too, because it was like, because of the rain, which is completely unpredictable for any day.
Of course,
just, that makes everything a challenge. But they had set up the ballroom for the ceremony. So we are kind of having, so the venue's going like, all right, can you move this a little bit this way? Because we're going to put up a divider here. Like, there's all these things. And it's like, okay, that's no problem, because we could always like come back during cocktail hour and switch things around and stuff. So it's not a problem. But we had the photo booth, and like our photo booth guy, Chris, comes up to me and he's like, Jackie said we can't set up yet because we have to use this space for photos. And I was like, if that's what she wants to do, she knows what she's doing. I'm like, there's no way that like, you know, I was like this little back room, like that's what she's doing. But I'm like, there's a reason. I don't know the reason, but there's a reason. So trust it. And I'm like, just help me out here. We'll go, you know, I'll go help you out later. You know, like, so like we just, fine. It's not going to go according to plan, but that's the plan always has to be that nothing is going to go according to plan. Like to some degree,
sometimes you have to pivot. An event, you know, just to ensure that things go smoothly.
Yeah, but and again, I would say not to like stress on this, but like if it was some other, you know, company that I just heard like they're using this space, I'd be like, all right, I'm gonna go talk to them, just see what's up, like. But because he was like, you know, I was like, whatever, let her do her thing. Like, I got it. You know what I mean? Like, and we'll roll with it. But I mean, yes, even still, like, if it was another team, I would have talked to them and just asked the question, and I still would have rolled with it. But
rolling with the punches is honestly the best way. But like I was telling Chris yesterday, I was like, you know, we had nowhere. Yeah, but I think I told you today. I was looking at a lobby room when I was getting the earlier tour of the spaces. I looked at a lobby room that at this point in time for family and bridesmaids groomsmen photos was locked and shut down. It was like the members section of this country club.
Yeah.
Locked, lights off, shut down. And I was like, okay, that's not an option anymore. So, and like I said, there's just not a lot of spaces. It's like a hallway to the bathrooms. And there's some pretty decor in that room. But it's not meaningful for family at all whatsoever, and doesn't make any sense for bridesmaids, groomsmen photos. But I had just gotten done too. I was like picking up so me and Shelby picked that location where Chris was supposed to set up the photo booth. And there were cocktail tables. So I'm like picking them up and moving them. I picked up like 6 or 7 cocktail tables, moved them off to the side. And I'm like cleared it all up for her. And I guess Chris too. And Chris comes walking in and I can tell he's holding like the photo booth. And I'm like, what are you doing? He's like setting up the photo booth. I go, where are you setting it up? And he points right to the corner that I just cleared all of the tables out of.
Yeah.
And I was like, I need this space for like 20 minutes. And then I promise you, and I did not hold this promise. I was like, but I promise you it'll be whole hands on deck. We'll help you set up this photo booth.
I was like, yeah, she's lying.
And I did not come back.
It's okay.
I did not come back.
Help Chris set up the
I was like, but I think
I'm sure you were busier with more important things. Right?
We were photographing, and I normally like to end about 40 minutes before the ceremony starts. So everyone has time to set up for the ceremony. The couple has time to refresh.
Yeah.
Hair and makeup, all that. But we were photographing up until like 5:10 because the sun came out, and like we had locations in mind, and family formals went smoothly. But when it's a rainy day, you get backed up a little bit. That's why I build the timelines with extra time in them. But on a rainy day, you lose time here and there for sure. Things slow you down, and you're just. It's not as easy as like running and going with all natural light. You're setting up lights and
plus because the sun came out, you wanted to take advantage of that opportunity to take some outdoor photos.
Yeah, we didn't get outside though until after the ceremony.
Okay,
the ceremony came first. But you know, we did. We got through everything, and then we took some photos. Up and they had this really pretty like upstairs getting ready location with all the like I said, with just the couple, it's easy to put them in places. So they had a really pretty stairway with like a chandelier. We photographed them, and then they had a window. It overlooked like the lake and the mountains, and we took photos there. Yeah. But then the sun came out, and we wanted to get them outside. And we were.
I'm sure they appreciated that, right?
Yeah, that was their one thing. I mean, that is why you book this venue, is for the outdoor portraits. It's on a lake, on the mountains. Right. So we were really pushing for them to like even give us 5 or 10 minutes outside. And the bride was a little worried about her dress and getting it wet, but we just kept gently. I even had to do this last weekend. Previous weekend, but I was just gently reminding. I'm like gently pushing and that's what I'll do. Like I'll gently push because I don't want you to turn around in a year from now and be like, why didn't we go outside?
Yeah.
Why am I looking through my wedding album and I have no portraits with this beautiful lake as my background? Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I don't want you to regret that. So I'm going to gently push you, and you can gently tell me no or firmly tell me no. but I'm going to gently push you because I just don't want you to regret it.
Yeah.
I don't remember what it was the last time I did that, and they were like, thank you. And I was like, no problem.
I always have to put myself in that mindset a little bit of like, because like when we go there to DJ, I'm just thinking about how am I going to get these people to dance for the most amount of time possible.
Yeah, of course.
But I always have to think about the other vendors and think about like even just our photo booth too. I'm like, I know people want to do that, and I know people want to go drink, and I know people want to like.
They've got to wander.
They have to. And so it's like just to at least put myself in that mindset of being a guest at the party, or being in the mindset of the bride and groom, especially, is like, what do they really want to get out of today? And so that's one of the things. It's like, if you book this beautiful venue, like, I know the rain was a challenge, but like, if they have that opportunity, then let them go outside and, and get that.
Yeah.
Sure.
We had a bridesmaid advocating for us. She was like, you're not going to look at this dress again. I mean, maybe you will, but you're going to get it cleaned.
Yeah.
You're going to get it cleaned.
Yeah.
But you are going to look at your wedding photos forever. And if it wasn't for her friend also pushing, I don't know if they'd have gone out. But
that makes total sense though, right? Like, all right, the dress is going to get wet a little bit when you're walking outside on a rainy day. But
I would.
You're going to get the photos that you've been thinking about for months now.
Yeah, I would have been like her too, though, because you said it to me on Saturday. I was like, oh yeah, but it is gonna like rain, and you were like, yeah, but it doesn't matter. Like, you're just, it's the one time to get it. I'm like, yeah,
we're gonna walk and we're gonna fluff you down. It might get wet, but we're gonna carry it.
Yeah,
it's not gonna drag.
Right.
We're gonna walk in. We're gonna fluff you down. It might get wet. It will dry. I promise you. You get it cleaned, it will come clean.
Yeah.
But I didn't even think of this, and I saw it happen later on. She's bustled. But I watched 2 different people step on her train, step on her dress. I see it happen all the time at receptions because they usually switch to flats. Well, when a bride gets her dress altered, she gets it altered and measured and all the things with her heels on.
Yeah.
But when she gets to her reception, those heels come off and her flats go on. And now she's got 2 inches or an inch, at least an inch, dragging on the floor, and people step on the back of the dress all night long. I've seen some brides get so frustrated because they just keep getting stepped on.
Oh, yeah.
And I watched it happen too. And at the end of the day, your photos are going to last you forever. Your dress will last you forever, but you're not going to do much with it afterwards. You're really not.
You heard it here first.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're not going to do much. So take the photos.
Take the photos.
Take the photos.
Yeah,
so
get the photos.
We pulled them outside, and one of their particular locations was the bridge, and we did some with the lake in the background. The sun was just hitting the trees. It was super pretty, glistening photos, lake behind them, all this. And then I was like, let's go to the bridge. It's on their, it's the one request that they have. Let's go to the bridge. And we're at the bridge, and me and Shelby are like all in it. We're like, yeah. And my phone's going. And then I looked down and it's Joe, because we had them. The only opportunity to take them was when they started moving guests into the ballroom. That's when we took them. So that was Joe's cue to let me know that he's ready for introductions.
Yeah, and then
and I was like, Shelby, we've got to wrap this one up.
Yeah.
And we wrapped it up. We headed back, and it all worked out.
I have a new. Oh, go ahead.
So they got their photos and they got to their reception introductions on time. Perfect.
Oh yeah. We made it happen. I was
going to say,
I have a new perspective on Jackie's work ethic now.
Yeah.
Doing that gig. I just never noticed this before.
What do you mean?
I don't know if other people do this. Maybe it's standard. I have no idea. But Jackie had her laptop set up on this ledge next to me, and she kept running back and forth and doing something. And I'm like, this at one point I'm like, what are you doing?
What are you doing?
I'm backing everything up right now. Because I was like, right now? And she's like, yeah, I'm not going to leave that up to chance for tonight. And I'm like, good for you, man. That's great.
I'm like, I don't want to do it at 1 o'clock in the morning because that's my estimated time of arrival at home tonight.
Yeah.
And I want to get home, unload, and get to bed.
Yeah.
And
no, I thought that was great.
I don't want to do it tomorrow. Yeah. So I just did it right then and there.
We talk about backup all the time, right? Backup equipment and, backing up the photos. I mean, that's got to be super, super important, right?
Yeah, I wanted it backed up. I didn't want to wait till the next day, and I didn't want to wait till Monday.
Yeah.
Today. So
yeah.
And you don't want to rely on those just living on an SD card inside of a camera,
Yeah, I mean, don't get me wrong. when it's my wedding, if I have my laptop, my laptop always comes with me.
Sure.
So if it's my wedding,
Yeah,
I'm
of
uploading
course.
them right then and there. So
Yeah.
I have OCD too.
yeah. Yeah. Well, it's one of those intrusive thoughts. Like, what happened?
No, I know. It's
like,
real stuff. I mean,
yeah.
we're dealing with some important content.
Like
that
if
night,
I could get it on Dropbox that evening, I try, or at least the lead photographer's photos. If I could get those on Dropbox that evening, I like to.
Yeah.
Because, again, it was intrusive thoughts, and like at least it's in the cloud.
Yeah.
So, but it was a good day. Fun story. When I got to the venue, I start getting all my stuff together. I get my stuff ready. And Eric, our assistant, got pulled over on the way. So we all aim to get there 30 to 40 minutes early. And thankfully, Eric getting pulled over meant he still made it on time. And then I'm putting all my stuff together, and I'm looking for my camera battery bag. And I'm like, where are my camera batteries? And I can't find them anywhere. I cannot find them anywhere. I'm like, they are not here. I don't remember dropping my bag. I sent Eric back to my car. I'm texting Chris, and I'm like, can you check here? Can you check here? At this point, I just want to know that they're somewhere. But at the same time,
but you had
plenty
on the job.
I always have my 2 cameras, always have the batteries in them. I'm not the kind of person who takes the batteries out at the end of a wedding day and leaves the cameras with no battery in them. Right. So thank God my one camera has a battery grip, had 2 batteries, and my other camera had 1 battery. So I had 3 batteries, and I always travel with a battery charger, always. So I started literally a rotation right by where Joe's station was set up. And I started a rotation. I just had one on that charger at any given time with the other one in my pouch. And then anytime I'd have a dead one, it'd go in, I'd switch it in my pouch, and then I'd put it on the charger. And it rotated enough that I didn't even need. And Eric, my assistant, he's a Canon shooter, so he had extra batteries on him too. I was like, Eric, do you have batteries on you? And he's like, I do. I was like, okay, good. Yeah. Can I have one? I didn't even use his. I didn't even need it.
That's
and
good.
I just had it. So thank the wedding gods that I carry.
Yes.
A camera battery charger. And then I always have 2 cameras, and they always have batteries in them.
Yeah.
It worked. This is the first time this has ever happened in my entire career. I've never gotten to a wedding, knock on wood.
I was going to say, I mean, I think it's good that you're bringing, I wasn't even going to say it because, whatever, but like, you handled it so well. These things happen. Yes, but you had the backup, the rechargeable ones and everything.
You just got to figure it out.
It's just one of those things, man. Like, there's just nothing that we could, like, there was a long time when I was going out to gigs on my own, like on my own DJing for a long time. Yeah. And what a nightmare that is just
by
for
yourself.
Little things like that happens. Like, it's just, there was a part of me that was just like, I could do this. It's, I don't need anybody, it's whatever. But even if the person you're with does nothing for 90% of the time, it's worth it to pay them.
Oh,
you know
absolutely.
what I mean? Like, it's worth it just to have that for that security. And so it's just like, it's
you lead into something that even when I started, so my first wedding season ever, 2015, even if I was going out by myself, I had an assistant with me.
Yeah.
I've never, ever skimped on having an assistant with me.
Right.
It's just important because it's just your plan B. It's your backup plan if you need something. So in this situation, Eric, he just started with us, but he's a strong photographer. He just needs to learn the limelight way. I would have been like, Eric, photograph the groom. I got to get to the nearest camera store or Walmart or Target or somewhere.
Yeah, just something to buy your time.
Thank God he shoots Canon also. Yeah. And he carries extra batteries. Because if I was on with just only Sony shooters, I'd be like, guys, I got to figure something else out. But that would never happen anyway because everything happens for a reason. I always carry a camera, battery, charger, and I always leave my batteries in everything. Like I leave the batteries in the flashes. I leave the batteries in the cameras. So like if somebody were to hit me up and be like, hey, emergency, I need you. I can literally run out there with some chargers and start shooting right away. Like I don't need to be like, hey, give me 30 minutes to charge everything.
Yeah.
Like I can pick my camera up and go.
Yeah.
So
everything worked out.
It worked out.
That's how I felt at the end of the night. Were there any other challenges just like throughout the night that during the actual reception or anything?
During the reception, I mean, they at first wanted to do photos with every table, and then we talked them into like a photo dash. Yeah. I just think that the photo dash makes the most sense when you are talking about stopped staged photos at every table, where the photo dash is maybe 2 songs long, maybe 6-7 minutes to get the whole room. If you stop and pose everybody at each table, you can definitely add another 15 to 20 minutes on there. And then that's part of my thinking is like, here's my thoughts on anything that a couple asks me is my thoughts are, I'm here to work. I'm not here to have an easy day. So I'm here to work. If you want me to photograph through cocktail hour, if you want me to photograph you at every single table, I don't care, because that's what I'm here for.
Yeah, right.
I want you to enjoy your wedding day, though. At the end of the day, do you want to spend 25, 30 minutes of cocktail hour taking extended family photos?
Right.
Do you want to spend 25, 30 minutes of your reception taking table photos?
Right.
How does that make you feel? And if you want to do it, I'm there. I'll be your cheerleader. I will be like, yes, we will do it, and I will do it. But I want you to enjoy what you planned, what you paid for, your guests. Like I want you to enjoy everyone and everything. So if that's gonna add to your enjoyment, let's do it. If it's not going to add to your enjoyment, let's find an alternative. Let's find a different way to do this.
That's a great point, because again, like from our perspective, it's like, how can I keep you guys dancing for as long as possible? But I've had the conversation before. It's like a cultural thing where like sometimes people want to have time to go up and to go up to every table and talk to each individual family or talk to each, and they need a period of time for that. And I remember asking one of the other event hosts that we have, I was like, I don't want to talk them out of that because it's a cultural thing and they seem like they want to do it. But how do I communicate that? I also think it might take too much time for what, and he was like, just say from your perspective that like your prime motivation is to keep them dancing for as long as possible. But again, just be honest with them and say like, if this is what you guys need to do, fine. But I just want you to know, my suggestion would be, how can we, make you allow the most people to have the most amount of fun for as long as possible. So, but again, like you said, I'm here to work. I'm here to do exactly what the bride and groom want to do.
Exactly.
I have no ego in this. It's just like that's just would be my suggestion. But
you want to make sure that they're enjoying themselves. You want to make sure their guests are enjoying themselves.
And if that's how they're going to enjoy themselves, great. I have no problem with that.
But as long as you're there to inform them that, hey, if we do X, then Y is going to happen. Most likely.
Which a lot of times, I mean, that's the case. I mean, even yesterday, which was a different wedding than what we're talking about, but like there was I had it on my thing that they wanted to do a photo dash. Photographers didn't have that, so I just had to coordinate. And so, I know.
That's simple though.
Yeah, it was fine. I went up to the bride and I'm like,
That's
do you
so
still
funny.
want to do this? But just trying to say like, well, we're kind of at the tail end of dinner already. Do you want to do that? It might take up a little bit of time. And, and then she was like, oh no, don't worry about it. So it was just a matter of communicating some level of suggestion of like, I think if we just dance for the rest of the night, you guys are going to have a great time. And she was super happy. So
that's good. I think what I find on my final calls, and I don't know if you guys find this, I feel like sometimes because we are one team, they think that the questions that I'm asking them also pertain to the entertainment aspect or the music aspect. And like they might remember telling you photo dash, but they didn't tell me photo dash. Yeah. But then sometimes they'll tell me about some kind of music event that's happening. I'll be like, okay, just make sure you let your DJ know or your event host know on your final phone call with them.
That's right.
Because I keep separate notes than you guys keep. Like, I'm not going to keep notes about cake cutting songs. I just need to know what time you're cutting that.
That's right.
But I don't know if you guys find that they kind of sometimes get their details mixed up between the two of us.
A little bit, I guess. I mean, I don't know if you can speak on it, but a little bit. I think sometimes when they hire Limelight as a team, there's sort of that idea of like just that it's one phone call might be the whole thing.
Yeah,
I don't know. Maybe. But
so.
I always try to make, I know they have a phone call with you. I know they have a phone call with us. So I always just try to make that clear.
Yeah, I just want to focus on the photo details. But I do let them know when they do mention an entertainment detail. I say, make sure that you include that information in your final call with your event host.
I've never I've never felt that way. I've always felt that like when I'm on the call,
it's really entertainment.
It's all entertainment, and then they know that they're having a photo video call with you, and then I just ensure them that, we're going to make sure that everything aligns after our call.
Right.
This way the day runs smoothly for you. And that's kind of, how I move forward with that.
Yeah.
It always works out really well.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I also think it's like heavy communication on the wedding day.
Yeah.
Like,
100%.
We're heavy communicators on wedding day anyway.
Definitely. You have to be.
So if, you have Photo Dash on your list and I don't, you're going to tell me about it anyway.
Yeah.
So anything you want to go over about yesterday's wedding or like any fun facts?
Yeah. No, it was funny just thinking, it was like reflecting on the weekend because like the wedding that we did on Saturday, the bride had sent me, and this is great. Like I but it's like she sent me easily 50 songs probably to play, on one thing. And in our phone call, she was like, I like EDM, I like Skrillex, I like, Zed, whatever. It was a bunch of, names that she gave me, Tiesto, stuff like that. And I was super excited to play it. And I was getting ready to play it, Daft Punk too, which I always love to play. And, showing up, I'm like, you know what? I don't think it's gonna work. Not for this room. Not for the kind of guests that are here. I just mean older people. That's all I really mean by that. And so I tried it for a little bit, and it just didn't feel like it was vibing. So I stopped. And I didn't care. Like I don't, mostly even when people send, I want this and I want that. I do think unless communicated otherwise, which I really try to parse that with people, but I think they want just people to have a good time. So I think they're happy with you to give it to some degree. But anyway, that was Saturday.
They want you to read the room, which you did.
They totally want you.
You're like, I'm reading the room right now, and I'm not really feeling like this is going to go off.
Yeah, I used to be a lot more nervous about that. I used to be like, okay, they asked for this, so I have to play this, and like, of course, like that. I want to make sure that
wiggle it in.
But like, I understand now that I think most people want you to read the room. But anyway, then yesterday. Yeah. The bride and the groom, they were like, they must have sent me 2 songs on the most play.
Yeah.
And I was like,
complete
is there
opposite.
any? And I texted them a couple days ago too. I'm like, just if there's anything else you guys want to hear, let me know. But they were like, no, read the room, have fun. They said like 90s to now, like that was super general. And it was so much fun. I ended up playing a lot of hip hop. I played some dance hall. Some EDM that they wanted, but that didn't really work.
This was yesterday?
This was yesterday.
Yeah.
So like whatever. It was just reading the room. It was just seeing what was happening. And then the bride at the end of the night, she was like, I know I didn't give you anything, but you killed it. Like,
nice.
Like no,
that's
but I was
best.
like, it's kind of nice that you did, like, because then it gives me more leeway. It's just my personal preference. I'm just like, okay, I'm just gonna feel
your
it out.
Your hands aren't tied,
right? Exactly.
You see the guests reacting to something you can stick with.
Yeah.
And you don't have a list. You've got to check off.
Yeah.
But even so, sad.
Which is fun sometimes, but
it is. Yeah.
I do love that freedom sometimes.
Yeah.
Where I'm always good with request lists, because it allows me to understand like where they want to be, where they don't want to be musically. But sometimes I like having the freedom of, no request list. And then the couple's just like, hey, Chris, we trust you. Do your thing, read the room, have fun with it. We like these genres, and we think that these decades would work. Perfect.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah.
That is all I need.
So much fun.
Yeah. Because then I have the freedom to just kind of like do my thing, read the room, and just have fun with it. And I feel like I'll bounce around a lot more, like in situations like that. I'll bounce around from decade to decade, genre to genre, and it makes it kind of fun and interesting because you're not necessarily like stuck in the 2000s for too long, or you're not stuck in the 2000, you're not stuck in hip hop for too long.
Yeah, you can stay surprising people like that.
Yeah, exactly.
That's so much fun.
Yeah, surprise the dance floor.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like when the genres are all mixed up. Like I like when you bounce around genre to genre. I think that's really fun.
Yeah, I think it's fun when you could go from like an 80s song to like a 2000s song to like, another classic sing along.
Yeah.
Especially finding ways to make that work, like finding the similarities in the songs that makes it more cohesive like that. That's the challenge for me in my mind. Is turning something that's almost too freeing of a thing, like if you have too much like room to wiggle with that, but then finding ways that they like kind of something sounds like an 80s song, but it's really a 2000s song. Like
yeah, 100%.
That's what makes it exciting
That's
for you.
really, really fun.
Yeah. I like that. That's cool. But
yeah,
and Saturday's wedding, they had fun though. You know, like you had them dancing and you were playing really fun songs. I even liked your dinner music. I told you that.
What was it?
Sheryl Crow, Soak Up the Sun into the Beatles' Obla D.
Yes.
I was like,
those were their requests.
This is fun. Really?
They wanted, kind of. They gave me like artist names, and it was, I just filled in the blanks there.
Those were very fun dinner songs. Like, I like dinner music that keeps you bopping. I think that is important,
very important to
because it flows you into your next dance set after dinner.
It's sometimes I get it. Like also sometimes people want it really chill and calm. And
I
I'll do that
do.
too. But yes, my preference, if I can, if I see people singing at their chairs,
they're ready.
They're just staying ready.
Bopping their seats.
Yep.
Yeah.
Not enough to get up, but just kind of
So when they
like
say Beatles, I'm like, okay, I'm playing Obla Di Obla Da Beatles. I'm playing, you know what I mean? Like that's the calculation.
The bride
there.
was dancing during that point. I feel like I saw her with her niece like dancing around. Yes. So I thought that was really, it'd be like, you got to keep people moving. I get it if you like the Sinatra style, but it's all you. It's why we personalize.
Keep the blood flowing.
That's why we personalize every event. But I like a fun dinner music set. I think we did the same thing.
Definitely.
Queen. I had like Queen on our dinner set. Yeah.
100%.
I remember Queen came on and I got up because I wanted to sing, and our food had just come down, and Chris grabbed me by the back of my dress and he sat me down. He's like, sit down and eat.
Yeah.
You are not going to eat for the rest of the evening. Sit down and eat. And I was like, I just want to dance. I just want to sing.
We did plenty of dancing though.
But it was
I saw those videos recently.
Yes.
Plenty of fun. Yeah.
The only time that we got a chance to eat until McDonald's that night. So
yes. Oh God! All right, we're gonna have another talk about that one.
Yeah,
McDonald's, absolutely.
That could be another podcast episode.
Yeah. Well,
know about that.
Chris only had his dress shoes, so he had to walk across the street with no shoes on. Or did you wear your dress shoes?
I don't.
You must have worn your dress shoes because most restaurants are no shoes, no service. So I think you wore like his sweatpants and dress shoes over to McDonald's and got us on McDonald's at the end of our wedding evening.
That's it.
But cool. Well, that was, just a great little recap here. I think that it's important to highlight the behind the scenes coordination and communication. That's so important for a wedding day to be successful.
Yeah, definitely.
Even though we were faced with challenge after challenge after challenge, that day was still so successful. We got amazing photos. They had a great party, and it all worked out.
That's it.
And then I got home and I found all of my camera batteries.
Hey,
there you go.
I knew exactly where they were the whole time too.
Good.
Anyway, hope you guys enjoyed our little wedding recap. And yeah, stay tuned for more fun stories like this, more behind the scenes vendor information. If you have questions about planning a wedding, if you have anything for us, please feel free to email me at jackie@limelightEntertainmentNJ.com. And wherever you are and whatever you are planning, we love that for you. Thank you so much for hanging out with us today. If this episode was helpful, make sure you follow or subscribe so you don't miss what's coming next. We love hearing from you, so if you have a question, a planning struggle, or an episode idea, email me at jackie@limelightEntertainmentNJ.com. There's a really good chance your question becomes a future episode. And if you're planning a New Jersey wedding and want vendors who truly care, you can find us at limelightwedding.com. And remember, wherever you're planning and whatever you're dreaming, we love that for you.